light chain numbers have really exploded. He's currently, his lab results came in last night when we were at dinner, and 40,000 was the current number. Prior to that, they were in the 30s, and then they jumped to the 500s, and then they spiked up further from there, I think to the 1100s, I'm not sure. And then, yeah, this latest number came in pretty shockingly at 40,000. So the phase we are in is the phase in which Tim is no longer responding to the medication. He's been on talquetamab, and that was supposed to last for a year. It lasted 3 months. His doctor he got approval for daratumumab, which he just started this week. We were told today that, according to the CT scans, he has bony lesions in the base of his skull, in his cheekbones, I think in his shoulder blade, and they didn't check, the rest of his body, but the places that they checked, he had lots of lesions. The light chains have also started to spill over from the bone marrow into his bloodstream. So, yeah, things are accelerating quickly, and it feels like you go from transit. We've been fighting, and since June of 2022, it's been a lot of fighting, and now, we haven't stopped fighting, but at a certain point, you start looking at these numbers, and from the tune of the oncologist, we're kind of at the end of the line in terms of treatments, and now our conversations are shifting to, what can we do to help Tim be comfortable? What can we do to support him? What can we do to support our family? How do we spend this time? What does that look like for us? And it's not that we haven't had these conversations before, but they've definitely shifted a lot in the past few days. Some moments, like right now, I feel fairly matter of fact, because this has been, just a topic of conversation and consideration for several months now. It feels like a huge shock each time new news comes and new numbers come, and you find out that things are exploding again. It's a whole different kind of shock when you realize that you're at the end of the line in terms of treatments. We kind of knew that would be the case when he started on talquetamab, but we thought we'd have a year, and we thought that at the end of the year, once it started to wear off in terms of efficacy, that he'd have an opportunity to be in line for another trial. So, yeah, so that's the kind of all of the number side of things and where we're at. I feel like we're just sort of riding through this. I can tell you that I don't know what else I can tell you. I really don't. We've had a lot of people reach out and say, what can we do to help you and support you? We have a dear friend who's flying in just to be around, to be available to our girls and our family. We have one of my sisters offered to come. I feel like we're super, super blessed and fortunate to have good support. No amount of support can ever, just make up for the loss of a life and the loss of a presence in our lives that has, been such an integral part of just who we are as a family. really just trying to stay present and focused on what's here and now. I've been meeting today I met with our financial advisor to just make sure things are in alignment and our ducks are in a row there. We're in need of a new vehicle for Tim because he's been driving an old truck and he needs to have reliable wheels to continue to get himself to his medical appointments. So we're looking at kind of pulling some of his funds out of his retirement account. Yeah, it's just kind of like crazy. We have a lot of medical bills due right now. We have a big, huge hole in the ceiling of our family room because we had a leak in our upper level of our house. And so that's, in the process of being fixed. My youngest, or one of my daughters, wants to receive some tutoring services just to get help. And I can say that, like, on the school front, I feel like I have not been nearly as available academically as I've wanted to be to help and support them. When I look around our house, I feel like, holy shit, it's just not in the state I want it to be in. I think our house is tidy, but with animals, there's an odor that lingers, and that is not fun. And yet, I've just sort of become accepting of it because it's like low on my priority list in terms of things to do. Yeah, and today has been a really weird day. I feel like I've kind of vacillated between crying and very matter of fact, here's what we have to do, and then talking to Tim and feeling him in his state of shock at receiving more news, more bad news on top of bad news. And then our last conversation was, we stop at the grocery store on the way home and get some sour cream and salsa. And why don't you pick up some beer while you're at it? Like, okay, so now that we have the important information and the important, stuff out of the way, we can talk about the other stuff, which is, more of the same in terms of planning and kind of like, while he's still feeling well enough, like, let's just really see how we want this next phase to go and what kind of help we need to have around us and what are the things that we want to do, stuff that we want to take care of and things that we want to do during this time, and how can we best support our girls. So it's kind of weird because it feels like time has just like slowed down again, and it's I feel like heartbroken and also grateful, and it's a weird mix of feelings to be experiencing. Heartbroken for the news and what that means, grateful for the time and to be able to navigate this with a partner still, and to be really mindful during this time. I feel grateful for the investment of time and energy in the past, this past phase of life, past year and a half, 2 years, because it's allowing me and us to kind of enter into this phase feeling more prepared. I don't know that you can ever prepare for the likely passing of your loved one and your partner and your kid's father, and I don't even know if that's what we're preparing for right now. I just feel like, given this information, I'm not sure what else to prepare for, because I feel like the fight part is like, you can only fight when you have tools tools on board to be able to fight with, but when those tools no longer work, then you kind of have to surrender. And so what does surrender look like? Yeah. So these are the thoughts going on in my head right now and in my being, and I just can't thank you enough for your prayers and support, and please keep praying for us. I never really address money or finance, and I don't like doing that in this space, because I really feel like in this space I committed to just showing up and giving whatever I could in the midst of this journey. But I have had people say, how can we help? And oddly enough, sometimes money is the best way to help, because it just allows us to, address all of the things that are right in front of us, which a lot of those have a bill attached to them. And so I'm going to put our link for our GoFundMe in just at the bottom of my notes for this post, because I don't know what else to do right now, and I don't know what our needs are going to be in the very near future, but having some extra cash on hand is always helpful. So and if you've donated to our GoFundMe already, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of our family's hearts. It's been so very helpful. If you have other loved ones in your life who are navigating something like this, like, that is a huge way that you can help them. Every now and then we just have a check show up in the mail, and I am like on my knees in gratitude each time that happens, because it usually happens after I've opened my arms wide again to the universe and just said, okay, like, definitely can't do this on my own, definitely need to open to your abundance, and I'm totally open and ready to receive it. And then lo and behold, something arrives, and it's so helpful. If you're navigating this and you are living with cancer yourself, or you're the caregiver for someone, please open to the generosity of your circle of loved ones, and even people that you know as acquaintances who know you and want to help you but just have no idea how. Like, let them know, give them a way to support you financially. Tell them how they can do it. Have somebody help you set up a GoFundMe, or let them know what links they can send money to give you money, because I think sometimes people want to help and they don't know how, and you have to make it easy for them to do that, and they will. And small amounts help, big amounts help, like, everything is helpful. And I've been blown away by the generosity of people, and it's helped me keep navigating this with my head above water, because I'm not drowning in bills that I can't pay. And the bills keep coming, and I just have to keep trusting that whatever is needed will be there, and we will get through this. All right, I think that is all I have to say for now. I will definitely continue to keep you updated. Just keep those prayers on our daughters, especially. I can't imagine being 13 and 15 and having to deal with this. So thank you so much.